Hey friends, welcome back to Johnny Food and My Kitchen. Tonight I'm hosting family dinner. My son is here from North Carolina and next week it's my birthday. So some of our family is gathering together to celebrate these two things, and I'm making all the things today. We're gonna do some steak kebabs on the grill, Greek style, some Greek rice. I'm gonna make some hummus, a couple different kinds of salads, like all the things. But that means I don't have a lot of time for dessert. So I need something that will be good enough to serve to a crowd, but let's be honest, easy and not time consuming in the kitchen. That's where Blueberry Cobbler comes in. I'm going to show you how I make this very simple blueberry cobbler, put it together in a matter of minutes. It's going to taste like it took me a long time, and it's going to be perfect at the end of a great summer family dinner. Let's bake this. Here's our ingredients for this wonderful blueberry cobbler. I've got 4 cups or 2 pints of fresh blueberries, 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and the juice of 1 orange for the bottom. And then for that topping, we are going to add 1 stick of butter, a half a cup of sugar, 2/3 cup of flour, 1 egg, a teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, and a pinch of salt. We're going to put all these together in a 9-inch pie shell. Now you can use also like a square baking dish. I've done it that way too. So let's get that going. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dump my blueberries right into a bowl. And again, that's 2 pints or 4 cups of fresh blueberries. Now I went ahead and I juiced that 1 orange off camera, and that gave me 1/3 cup, which is what I was looking for. So I would say just the juice of 1 orange is fine. If it ends up being slightly juicier, it's not going to be a problem that your cobbler has a little more juice to it. So, and then we're just going to sprinkle 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar over top. And then just take a spoon and mix that up and just kind of coat everything with that sugar and orange juice. Now, I've got my 9-inch deep dish pie shell, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to pour that right in there and just spread those blueberries out. Just like that. And I'm going to set this aside. And in the same bowl, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make that crust. All right, into our bowl, I've got 1 stick of, now this is supposed to be kind of room temperature butter. However, it melted just a little bit more than that. I gave it just a quick defrost in the microwave and it got just a little bit meltier. And then to that, I'm going to go ahead and add 2/3 cup of flour, 1/2 cup sugar, 1 egg, and then we're going to go in with 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, teaspoon of vanilla, and just a quick pinch of salt. So I would say less than 1/4 of a teaspoon, maybe like 1/8 of a teaspoon. And then I'm just going to take that same spoon that I mixed those blueberries, and I am just going to incorporate this, and it'll be kind of like a thick batter. So I am just going to take that, it doesn't take very long, kind of mashing that butter into the ingredients. All right. And just like that, it comes together. And as you see, it kind of looks like a thick cake batter kind of a thing, almost like a quick bread batter. All right, now that we've got that done, I am just going to kind of put these in little tiny spoonfuls all over the top of this. my clean hands helping. And if you can hear a little puppy in the background, that is my new dog, Darby. We got her about a week ago, so I'm still kind of figuring out how how taping is going to run with a baby dog that we're trying to get potty trained and all the things. All right. We'll just put that around everywhere we see kind of a little gap. And then we'll just kind of flatten it out slightly. It doesn't have to be perfect. Put a little here and maybe a little over there. And lastly, we'll just put the rest of this along this edge right here. All right, I'm just taking a little bit of a smaller spoon that I sprayed a little bit of oil on, and I'm just gonna kind of smooth that out a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you could technically leave that, oops, in chunks. I just kind of like it to be equally covered throughout the whole thing. All right, I think that looks good. All right, we are going to put this into a preheated 375-degree oven for 45 minutes. All right, our cobbler is out of the oven. And one of the lessons that I have learned in the kitchen over the years is always, always check your temperature and your time in the recipe. And once I put this in the oven, I went back to my recipe, I checked the time, and it was actually 35 to 40 minutes. So this is about 37 minutes that it was in the oven, and that looks perfect. We're gonna let this cool. I'm gonna start working on all the other things, and I'll show you what we're having for dinner tonight.